When the ship went down, they thought the worst was over. The explosions were behind them. The screaming had stopped. The steel giant had disappeared beneath the surface. And somehow, they were still alive. But what most survivors don't understand is this. The ocean rarely kills quickly. It waits. Sometimes for hours. Sometimes for days. And by the time people realize the danger, it's already too late. The false safety. There is a moment after every shipwreck that feels almost peaceful. The chaos fades. Engines stop roaring. The violence ends. Survivors cling to debris, inflate life rafts, call out into the darkness. Many even believe rescue is already on the way. But the ocean is not an environment humans are built to survive. Not for long. Because the real threats don't rush toward you. They surround you quietly. Threat number 1. The temperature clock. Water steals heat from the human body 25 times faster than air. Even when it doesn't feel cold. Even when the surface seems calm. Your muscles begin to weaken. Hands stop responding. Simple movements become exhausting. Then comes confusion. Then poor decisions. Many drowning victims were once strong swimmers. Strength doesn't matter when the body begins shutting down. And the terrifying part? It often feels gradual, until suddenly it isn't. Threat number 2. The sun. If the cold doesn't take you, the sun might. Hours pass. Fresh water runs out. Salt coats your lips. Your tongue swells. Your throat burns. Some survivors make a fatal choice. They drink the seawater. It feels like relief for only a moment. Then hallucinations begin. The brain misfires. Madness follows. People have slipped beneath the surface, chasing mirages that never existed. Not because they were weak. Because the human brain cannot survive that chemical imbalance. The psychological collapse. Long before the body fails, the mind does. Imagine floating for hours. Nothing but horizon every direction. No ships. No aircraft. No sound but water. Hope starts to thin. And once hope weakens, people stop fighting. Survival experts often say something chilling. Most people don't die when their body gives out. They die when their mind decides rescue isn't coming. The fear below. And then, there is what swims beneath you. Sharks rarely behave the way movies suggest. They don't usually charge. They investigate. Slow passes. Silent turns. Curiosity. But fear changes everything. Panic burns energy. Erratic movement attracts attention. Sometimes the greatest danger isn't the predator, it's the terror it creates. Because terror makes survivors forget the rules that keep them alive. Stay together. Minimize splashing. Conserve strength. Fear breaks all three. Time becomes the predator. By the second day, everything changes. Bodies weaken. Skin blisters. Lips crack open. Speech slows. Simple thoughts feel heavy. Groups grow quiet. Some survivors drift away during the night, never noticed until morning. Not taken violently, just gone. The ocean doesn't need drama. It is patient enough without it. The fatal mistake. Across countless maritime disasters, one pattern repeats. People underestimate how long rescue actually takes. They assume someone knows. Someone saw. Someone reported it. But the ocean is vast beyond comprehension. Search zones can span thousands of miles. And survival often comes down to one brutal equation: energy versus time. Those who conserve strength last longer. Those who panic rarely do. When night returns, night at sea is psychologically devastating. The temperature drops. Waves feel larger. Every sound is amplified. And the darkness removes the final illusion of control. Many survivors later said the nights were harder than the sinking itself. Because in darkness, time stretches endlessly. Rescue, if it comes. When rescuers finally arrive, the scene is rarely what people imagine. Silence. Scattered debris. Exhausted survivors too weak to wave. Some don't even recognize help has come. Others cannot respond. By that point, survival has already selected its few. Not always the strongest, not always the best swimmers, often the calmest, the most patient, the ones who understood a terrifying truth. You cannot fight the ocean. You can only outlast it. Shipwrecks make headlines, but what happens after rarely does. Because the real story isn't the sinking, it's the waiting. Waiting for rescue, waiting for sunrise, waiting for strength that may never return. The ocean doesn't need to hunt you. It doesn't need to rush. It simply waits for the moment you can't anymore. And that is why the ocean remains one of the most unforgiving survival environments on Earth. Not because it kills fast, but because it almost never does.